First start, welcome to another podcast of the current situation at Manchester United. Here ends the last day of the Premier League 2021-2022 season. As you would have expected for those that watched the last fixtures of the Premier League today. Today was never short of a dull moment. There was, I think a lot of players kind of, topped out. They topped out of the season because the season was finished because we had a few scorelines that wasn't usual during the season, is me. And today, man, was just a high. I think if I would smoke it, I would just get high after one hit. It was that enthralling. It was that enticing. That's just the basis of football. Persons go to football stadiums for moments like this. They don't go for they go to watch their football side win the game, but with added sweet taste to it. They could say a lot of football fans just go to matches, whether they are a neutral fan or something, just to enjoy football, period. Particularly when the dramatic side of football has emerged on the surface. Because that emerged on the surface today in football, particularly in the premises of the Premier League. Now, today, I know this is a Manchester United channel. And I told you guys, disclaimer, stop right there. So, as you guys know, this is going to be a video that I'm going to be going through Manchester United season from the 14th of August to the 22nd of May, which is today, because that's longevity of the season for Manchester United. It's from August 14, since we played against Leeds United, which got safety today, until we played against my ears kind of. This is one of the few videos I've done where I'm exposed my hair to most of y'all. I have my cap right here, so. But so from Man United season start from Old Trafford against Leeds to Crystal Palace away from home. But before I get into the Manchester United stuff, let us go back to what I was saying before when it comes on to football. Man, what are they football? Yo, let me say this. I think I'm in the 0.00000%, if there's a percentage on that. That's a Man United fan that wanted Liverpool to win the Premier League, because I wanted Liverpool to win the Premier League, and I've said that before, either on Twitter or even in previous videos. Criticisms could come, destructive, constructive, objective. There's nothing objective about, because when it comes down to football, opinions is going to supersede any objective, unless if you take out the stats. But I'm talking about football fans' opinion. I want Liverpool to win the Premier League. I'm not going to hide that, just for the endearment of other Man United fans that wanted City to win that. So literally, when Liverpool lost the Premier League to City, I felt away. I can't lie to you, I felt away. But seeing that I'm not a Liverpool fan, I can't sit up here and bawl and say, man, we had this thing outside, Stevie G, man, what you do, man? You had 2 goals up against City. What's up with that? Why you gonna make City come browbeat in the second half, man? You've been slipping ever since. You've been slipping your football career for Liverpool. I think you slipped against Brazil. Ronaldinho left you on the arse, so you slipped there, so on international duty, and you slip as a manager. That's the trifecta of a poor player / manager. You slipped in 2014. You gave away the league to City in 2014, and you go slip again 8 or 9 years ago or 7 years ago, and you give the league to City. How is that? Man, you're not even a legend. I think you're a undercover agent against Liverpool. I know you played for Liverpool most of your career, but what's up with that? But yeah, man, it just goes to show that football is just full of emotions. This is what persons go to football matches to watch. It's just for the entertainment of football. Again, bro, City was down by 2 goals to Aston Villa, not by halftime. I think they were 1 goal down by halftime. And City go pull up them socks in the second half and go beat Aston Villa at home. And they've won the Premier League at home. In other news, West Ham took the lead. I know this is not a general commentating, but this is just last year football. But I have to speak on all matters. I have to go across the board and speak on these matters. West Ham took the lead with an Antonio Adriano-esque goal. That was, if you guys know, again, I wasn't watching football at the time, but I've seen videos of Adriano with that left foot of his, that 99 shot power dude. That was Adriano-esque on his left foot, Antonio. It's funny how their name started with A, but that was a A-less goal, alright? Yeah, but that was a world-class goal. That was a world-class goal from Antonio. And then Brighton, let me see something. Brighton won the game and come back against West Ham. And West Ham thought they had it made because I think the thing, I believe it was, the thing is that if Brighton lost against West Ham, the game of Brighton versus West Ham is somewhat very necessary, not necessary is the right word, but Manchester United needed Brighton to win against West Ham. There was no ifs or buts about it. Because if West Ham beat Brighton, then we would be in the Conference League. No one wants to be in the Conference League. So we didn't want to be in the Conference League. But seeing that Brighton has beaten West Ham, sunken them below us, now we're in the Europa League. Although that is not much to beat your drums about. But it's better than the Conference League if you had to pick one out of the two. It's like choosing against Hitler or the devil. No, you don't want to choose any one out of them. But if you're in a position to choose which one of them, which one you would either go to the Conference League or the Euro League. You don't want to be in any of them if you're a top side. But this is the position you are in, so you have to go pick one out of the two. So, Man United, the game of Brighton versus West Ham is somewhat correlated to Manchester United. And see, the thing is this, man. We lost, and I'm saying this after 7 minutes in the video. 7 minutes in the video. Nigga, this is a Manchester United channel. I waited until 8 minutes and 11 seconds to be saying that. But Man United has lost against Crystal. But nobody not talking about Manchester United right now. We're talking about football, talking about Manchester City beating Aston Villa, coming back from 2-0 down to 3-2 to win the Premier League. Liverpool was down by 1 goal and they came back to win the game. No, it's a consolation because they didn't win the league anyway. So they're second fiddle to the league winners, Liverpool. For Chelsea, I believe Chelsea won against Watford 2-1. Hey, listen, Tottenham beat Burnley. They sunk Burnley 5-0 or 5-1 or something like that. So Son is sharing boots with Salah. I don't think they were the same size, but they're sharing the same boots because they've won the golden boot. As relates to which one out of the two had a better season, I would need no reason to pick Salah. No, if that makes it order. No, I would say Son is actually better because he hadn't scored in penalties. Salah scored plenty penalties this season, which has insurmountably increased his number of goals in the Premier League. So of course, Son is better than Salah. And you could say Salah is the son of Son in terms of the golden boot, in terms of the quality of the goals from both ends. You see me? So, I mean, it's like one of those stories in the Christian Bible where King Solomon had to choose which one of the mothers was the legitimate mother of this child. Because one of the mothers, for you guys that are Christian or you know the Bible, the mother lost two. There were two mothers in the court, so to speak, and King Solomon was the judge. And one of the mothers lost a child to death, but the other mother had a baby. Now this baby was I'm getting notification. This baby was born at the same time. She lost the baby. So this baby was brought to court, and King Solomon said, "You know what? For you females, mothers to be on the same wavelength, I'm going to cut this baby in half. So you share and you share. You go get the head, you go get the foot, and you go get you go get the belly." So that's basic. Man, these notifications, man, crap. These notifications. So Son and Salah sharing the boot is basically like that story. Is me. So they are to I think this is Salah's second season sharing the golden boot. He's not much to share in the golden boot, is he, Salah? He shared it with Mane, his teammate, in 2018, 2019. No, is it 2018, 2019 or 2019? No, in 20. I think it's in 2018, 2019, something like that. Anyway, and Aubameyang also won the golden boot. Anyway, today was a good day for football in the Premier League. Again, like I said, it doesn't disappoint, man. I'm just full with raw emotions. This is immediately after every game has been played, because every game started at the same time, at least on my end, at 11 o'clock a.m. So I think Everton lost. Yeah, Everton lost Arsenal, but no one cares about Arsenal. So yeah, this is just the game of football, man. Eric Ten Hag came to Crystal Palace's station to watch the game of Crystal Palace against Manchester United. I'm pretty sure he was very disappointed with the display of Manchester United. But this is something that he has to work. He has to work with, because this is a squad. He's seen the reality of Manchester United squad firsthand. He's seen the raw footage of Manchester United being poor. Is me. And let me just say this, because I know most persons won't say it, but I appreciate the efforts of Ralph Ragnick at his tenure at Manchester United. It has officially come to an end today after the game and loss against Crystal Palace at Crystal Palace home, away from home, for Manchester United. So in this game, Eric Ten Hag being in the stadium watching the game, I'm pretty sure my man is making mental notes and saying, okay, this brethren is crap. He's going to be on the first thing smoking in the summer. I'm going to sell him. I'm going to bench him. This and that. I'm going to change up the style of play to accommodate certain players, get some players in. He's going to be tweaking up the squad as any manager would in the transfer summer. Is me. So that's what my man is going to be doing. Yeah, man. Another thing is this, man. Manchester United has. Oh, this. Let me see this. This video might be a long one. I'm touching until an hour. I don't want to mislead you guys, but I know you guys have been enjoying up until this point. Yeah. So if you have been watching up until this point, show your appreciation either way, or you at least halfway, and like at least quarter, because this is going to be an hour video, and this is about almost 15 minutes. So go ahead and like the video, man, and leave your comments down below if you're a Manchester United fan, and if you're a neutral fan or if you're a rival fan. Go on ahead and leave your comments down below, and in terms of how is the season for you. If you're a Liverpool fan, man, hey, I know that you're upbeated right now. You had hopes of putting your hands on the Premier League title, but those hopes were crushed by a stone crusher, you could say. Leave your comments down below either way. Let's go back to August 2004. I'm not going to be going through all of the games, because that would be a 15-hour video, and I think YouTube will allow that, but I don't think I'll be doing that, because I'm sure persons have done videos where they did like 24-hour streams, whether it's for charity or for some other stuff. But anyway, this is going to be an hour video, so I'm not going to be putting every fixture in a box to accommodate that 1 hour, to just go through Man United season, the players that made progress, the players that regressed, the players that were iffy, players that were just poor. And players, of course, that were good, players that stand out, players that improved, is me, stuff like that. So I'm going to be discussing and dissecting into that. Now, first of all, last summer of Jesus Christ, man, these international, these notifications. Now, Manchester United last summer wanted to make a few changes in the dressing room. Jadon Sancho was on the to-do list along with Rafael Varane and a few other players. And Varane, as I've mentioned before, that deal was a bit fishy to me. Sancho, I believe Sancho's deal was written in the stars because even the summer before last summer, when we didn't get Sancho, Man United fans knew we were going to get Sancho eventually. We knew he was going to leave Dortmund. But Varane, as I've mentioned before, Real Madrid lost Sergio Ramos either to not signing back his deal because my man wanted more money and Perez wasn't feeling that, or he just wanted to cut his loss and go to get fresh breeze from another place. So he called it quits with his time at Real Madrid. That is Real Madrid's best defender since Hero since 2002. Hero. Sergio Ramos is Real Madrid's best defender since Hero, since the Spanish defender Hero was at Real Madrid. Now, what would make Real Madrid, as I question myself at the time, and even a few videos, why the hell would Real Madrid let go Ramos's long-standing partner, who is arguably the second best centre-back under his standing, Sergio Ramos? So not sell off, but you're going to throw Sergio Ramos away for free, and you're going to sell off Varane, who is arguably the second best defender at the club, for money. That's fishy. How are you going to sell Rafael Varane? Just sell it off it just the two defenders in one transfer window. So again, that's the questions I ask myself, and I said in videos, why are you going to send off Varane? Because I know my man didn't have the best, in my opinion, didn't have the best of Euros, because he's one of the reasons why Switzerland equalized. I think Pogba lost possession and Rafael Varane allowed some Switzerland player to go get the equalizing goal. I remember that. So, and Rafael Varane has been suspect for a bit. That probably has played into why Real Madrid want to sell him off. Not because my man wanted to leave on his own volition, not because my man had a decision to leave or to stay. Real Madrid want to do away with Rafael Varane himself. So it's not like Jesus, man, his notifications. It's not like my man was like, okay, well, I have the choice to stay at Real Madrid. I'm getting decent paper per week. I could do with a bit more, seeing that Real Madrid is gonna, release my long-standing partner at centre back, but I could do with a few more wages per week. No, my man, he was sold if the right price came in, and the right price came in for Varane, and we lured him to Manchester United grounds. But as the season was wrapping, not the season, the transfer season was wrapping up, Cristiano Ronaldo. No, before I say that, so you have to understand everything I play in the last year's summer. Messi was not going to sign a new contract with Barcelona, or Barcelona, as we know it, would have gone broke. And Barcelona has been broke, But the thing is that they could not renew Messi's contract because Messi was at least getting almost near $1 million per week. They didn't have money for that. So the best option was to release him. They didn't have no other option. They had to release him into the fold. It's like when your pup has grown up. I don't think you're going to release a dog even when your pup has grown up. But if there was a law that said that all dogs after this amount of weight has to be released back, be a stray dog or something, and you had no choice, or if you put any resistance to it, you would be locked up, you'd be in braces, right? And you release your dogs into the jungle after having 14 been with you for 14 years. At least that's like what, 6 years in dog years. In human years, 14 years could be 6 years. 14 years, 14 dog years could be 6 years in the human years. But anyway, if there was a law given to release a dog because he didn't have no choice, because that was the law, that's why I saw Messi. I'm not saying that Messi is a dog, all the Real Madrid fans call Messi a dog, but the reality is that Messi couldn't renew his contract, so he had to be released back into the fiesta of football, into the world of football. He had to go explore like Dora and go pick a club that could afford his wages per week. He couldn't just go to another club. Although person was saying that, yes, Messi, come back to Argentina, come and play for what's this club name? What's this club? I can't. I'm from Argentina, but I can't remember this club. I believe is Tigres. No, Tigres is in Mexico, right? Yeah. The club that Maradona used to play for. Yeah. The best way to honor Maradona is to come play for the club that Maradona used to play for when he was a young youth. I think it is Neville's. That right? Neville's. Yeah. Come on, play for that club in Argentina. Come on, come on. Come on, pay tribute by playing football for the legend that passed away. But Messi went to Paris Saint-Germain. And my point is, you may be asking, okay, bro, what's the point? My point is this. If Messi did not move from Barcelona, Ronaldo would not move from Juventus. There was a reason why Juventus lost Ronaldo. Ronaldo was not going to leave Juventus. If you remember the story at all, there was a rumor that said that Ronaldo was going to leave Juventus. And Ronaldo came out with either a tweet or a post by saying that these rumors were not true. He's committed to Juventus. But when Messi left Barcelona for PSG, that is where things started to ruffle a bit. Because, see, Ronaldo loves attention. We know that Ronaldo loves attention. So he knew that when Messi left Barcelona, that was the paper news. That was the talk for the day, at least for a couple months. So Ronaldo, as if I am Ronaldo, as I'm speaking as if I'm in the mind of Ronaldo. But Ronaldo came upon himself and said, yo, I'm leaving out of here. So Juventus was on the strings of getting Europa League anyway. And they by the scuff of their teeth, they got Champions League. But I'm still going to do away with Juventus and go to a club that can afford me. Man City is on my list. Hey, Manchester United is on my list. I could go back to Manchester United and be the prodigal son and come back to Manchester United and come back to Old Trafford. If they could afford me, that is. I'm not a cheap player. I know I'm not the same player as of old, although I'm getting old. But I'm no cheap person. I'm not. I have to be getting at least almost 6 figures per week. He's getting 6 figures per week. But we all know, almost getting 7 figures per week. So the reality is that the Messi transfer to PSG affected Ronaldo's decision to move away from Juventus. And anyway, in relation to Manchester United, when Ronaldo's head was mentally made up to leave Juventus, Manchester United put their bid in for Ronaldo. News would have it that Man City was the favourites to get Ronaldo. Isn't it? They were the favourites to get Ronaldo. But Juventus, not Juventus, but Rio Ferdinand came out with something that made Manchester United fans, particularly Ronaldo, Man United fans, like, oh, he's coming to Manchester United. Oh, get him back. So Ronaldo's come back to Manchester United. It was like, Rio Ferdinand was like, I think it was a 4 second or 5 second video. It was like, and when I saw, I'm like, are you serious? No, again, I know CR7 is not the same player, but the fact that, again, CR7 is a big brand. When this region moved to Juventus in 2018, Juventus not only increased in shirt sales and Instagram followers, but they got a higher revenue. They got a higher revenue because of Ronaldo's transfer. Ronaldo is a big brand name. Actually, CR7 is his big brand name. But this bringing this old brethren, this youth that used to play for Manchester United back to Old Trafford was a big standing statement. Yes, me persons believe say, hey, whoa, he's coming home. This is the last dance. He's coming home. He's coming home. Yeah, so we got Sancho, we got Varane, we got Cristiano Ronaldo. And in the first game, not in the first game, before we get into the first game of CR7, let's get in the first game for Manchester United in the season. Against Leeds United. See, this game was very misleading, and that led persons to believe that we were going to have an exceptional season. Persons believe that Bruno was going to lead Manchester United. Because in this game, Bruno Fernandes got a hat-trick. In this game, Pogba got 4 assists. In this game, the side was playing a bit more freely. Now, that is not based on the footballing prowess of Manchester United. That's due to Leeds United being stupid and naive and delusional for giving Manchester United that space. If you thrive Manchester United space, Manchester United is not going to score plenty goals. You're not going to be effective or efficient. They're not going to even, the wingers are not even going to beat the defenders because they cannot break down low block sides. They can't break down low block sides. So this performance against Leeds United at home at Old Trafford on the 14th of August 2021 in the year of our Lord at the time anyway. The 5-1 victory gave a lot of Manchester United fans a lot of hope that yes, this is the season where we're going to get back on our high horses and win the league and get at least second place, because last season we got third place or second place. But we can actually win the league if we put our heads to it, because we're Manchester United. The thing is this, dude, and I just mentioned it. The reason why we beat Leeds United by 5 goals to 1 is because of the amount of space Leeds United was given to Manchester United. If Leeds United was being smart for once and they decreased the space given to Manchester United, we wouldn't be getting at least 4 goals. We wouldn't be getting no 4 goals, man. You look at the passes Pogba was playing over the top onto Mason Greenwood and Bruno Fernandes to be getting them goals. That was in space. Shoot, you could give a mediocre side space and they'll get some goals if they're good enough to score goals. So yeah, that gave Manchester United some, again, it didn't give me a false impression because I know Manchester United to their core. So that gave some fans, shallow fans or real hardcore fans, the false hope that yes, we can actually do something with this season. So they thought. We drew against Southampton. We got some. Again, the style of play wasn't symmetric. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer didn't implement anything for Manchester United. We drew against Southampton. We scrapped 3 goals against West Ham. We got we won 1-0 against Wolves. So, and we lost our first game in the Champions League. Now see, the game against Newcastle at home, where CR7 came up to Manchester United, this was a game where this was on the September 11th. The Twin Towers were destroyed, as well as Newcastle got destroyed. Is me, and they got destroyed by the return of Manchester United fans' Lord and Savior Cristiano Ronaldo, and he netted 2 goals. And person was saying, yes, he's going to, he's back. He's going to show that he's still the top player, the top dog in football. He came to challenge the league. Oh, CR7, man. I know he's going to kill it, man. He's going to be top scorer in the Premier League. Who is Salah to be doing? Who is Son? Who is Aubameyang? Who is Kane? CR7 is going to come back. He came from Spain, he went to Italy, and he came again to Manchester United. He's going to get the league golden boot. So they thought. But anyway, See, when CR7 came, there were skepticisms along with me and some other Man United fans because we had Jadon Sancho, we had Rashford, we had Martial, we had Lingard, as if he's a young player. He ain't no young player. But the fact is, we had other youths, our forward youths on the bench that was not going to get a lot of starts. Or we had Mason Greenwood as well. Mason Greenwood, that wasn't going to get a lot of starts. Is because when CR7 was deployed as a centre forward. He's no right winger. This ain't 2007, and he wasn't playing as a left winger. This is not 2011. So when he came to Manchester United, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knew that the legs of CR7 were not as fresh. So he had to play as a striker. CR7. See, we had to rely on the scoring man. We had to rely on the scoring prowess of CR7. This was like a Portuguese 2012 side. Play the ball to CR7. Play the ball to CR7. Let CR7 get the goals. Put CR7 on penalties. Hell, put him on free kicks. And this nigga hasn't scored a free kick since Donald Trump was president for United States. And you want this dude to take your free kicks because, he's back, and come on, man. I mean, he's back, yes, but come on, man. You can't be giving this Reggie no free kicks. You don't want the ball to be out of the stadium, do you? But when he came back, the point is that some players were not going to be getting no game time. Some players were not going to be starting regularly, particularly Martial, Rashford. Rashford was out for a bit because, again, Rashford had to do some surgery on his shoulder. I guess that's going to remove his poor form. So they think. But Rashford on the back in the last season, at the time when we lost EuroLeague, he was playing with an injury. Listen, if this brethren was injured, why is it that Southgate is going to go out of his way to bring Rashford on the England squad for the Euros last year? That didn't make no sense. That was a waste of selection. Rashford didn't even when Southgate brought him, Rashford wasn't playing much. He didn't even started much games. He was just on the bench. So he went to get his shoulder. I guess a shoulder was somewhat detrimental to his football form. So yeah, he got that sorted out, but still there was Martial on the bench. Sancho was picking up the paces slowly, and as you guys can guess it, there are certain Man United fans on the back, just giving Sancho criticism. Oh, this dude is not good. Manchester United. Why is Manchester United making good players bad? This player is bad, man. Not recognizing that a player needs time to adapt to the Premier League. This is the Premier League. This is not a pot league where this is local and you can watch from your window from your bedroom and watch the game while some train is passing by. This is me. That's not the Premier League. Maybe that's for the Championship or League 2. But this is the Premier League where football is very aggressive, intense, and is very competitive. Jadon Sancho needed to adapt to the Premier League. You don't adapt by being on the bench. No, you can adapt by being on the bench in terms of the atmosphere. I'll give you that. But in terms of the football, you need to play football in the Premier League to adapt to the football in the Premier League. You need to play football in the Premier League to adapt to the football in the Premier League. So yeah, so Ole, Ole was telling him, say, yo, this is the Premier League, and we have to start off slow. You probably have to go eat up slowly and get warm up after time. But one of the biggest things we suffered this season was that we were very, again, I just said it, that we were very reliant, we were very dependent on Cristiano Ronaldo. We were very, in terms of goals, we were very dependent. See, I just mentioned that Bruno Fernandes got a hat-trick against Leeds United in the first game of the Premier League for Manchester United this season. See, when CR7 came in, Bruno Fernandes, his role in the squad dropped. I would say pretty drastically. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wasn't allowing Bruno Fernandes to be the main scorer, which he was for us last season, for this season, because CR7 was here. So seeing that CR7 was here and CR7 can dribble, but not nearly as good as he used to. So he's not going to beat players as he's done back in his day. So they wanted to make the players come around as a functional unit and assist CR7. Give the ball to CR7. When you see CR7 running the box, you cross that ball in the box. When you see CR7 making a run through, you put that ball into the box to his feet so he can run onto it and score. That is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was basically saying to his players, yo. Because again, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer didn't have no tactics. Well, he has statistics, but he didn't have no style of play for the squad. My man was like, again, like I mentioned, Portugal in 2012. Give the ball to CR7 and he'll do the damage. See, that worked out for a bit because he was getting goals. He got one goal in the Champions League by a good Bruno Fernandes assist with the outside of his boot. You know, it was Quaresma-esque, I guess. You know, the Portuguese magic worked in Bruno Fernandes with us because that is more of the reputation Ricardo Quaresma would have with the outside of his foot assisting and scoring goals. But yes, CR7 got some goals. And see, in the Champions League, man, seeing that we lost our first Champions League game, in the Champions League and even in the Premier League, one of the problems was that we were very reliant on CR7 getting them goals. CR7, at least at the time, was 36. This brethren has batteries that needs recharging. This dude is not God from high. So he can't... he's a god of... some persons may consider him a god of football. But as relates to an immortal, undisputable God that has no... That his form is just consistently good. We know that's not going to be the aim of CR7. Is me. This is not the old CR7. So the thing about this season was that they were very reliant on even foreshadowing certain players, because CR7 will get the highlights, even when he scored or when he didn't. And see, the thing is this, man. Again, I don't want to. I have a few minutes left. I don't want to get deep into it because I want to talk about the players of the season, players that regress and made process and progress and all of that. But one of the things that showed that Manchester United was doing too much in terms of losing was that we're losing to sides initially, and then by full time, CR7 was clocking in goals and win the game or draw the game. Dude, if we had 11 CR7s on the squad, man, I can understand that, but we have one CR7. There are other players that are talented that could have assisted in getting them goals. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, until the time he was sacked in November, wanted CR7 to get most of the goals, which he did. One of the other problems was that there was no real connection with the forward line. There was no connection there, so particularly from the perspective of Cristiano Ronaldo and Mason Greenwood. There was some tension right there. If you had a hot knife, I don't even think that hot knife that came out of 7x7 furnace would have cut that cake because it was too thick. Everybody knew that Mason Greenwood wasn't having the best relations with CR7 and vice versa, but more so from the perspective of Mason Greenwood, because Mason Greenwood was in certain positions where he should have passed the ball to CR7 or onto other players that were in better goal scoring positions. But my man was saying that, hey, I got a left foot of Robin van Persie. I can score goals. I'm left footed. You know how them left footeds are, man. And I'm left footed, so I know how left footed scores, them goals. But he was basically saying that I'm going to shoot either way. Because again, if you give Mason Greenwood space to shoot on his left foot, 7 to 8 9 out of 10, that's at least hitting the target. That's at least hitting the target. And I would even say that's going to score. This Bridging has a missile on his left foot. So when he shoots, he follows through with the ball clean. So yeah, I can get that he's a clinical shooter on his left foot, but that shouldn't give one a justification or reason to not pass the ball to the players that are in better goal scoring positions. You see me? So Ronaldo was pissed about it. He wasn't happy with the fact that Greenwood wasn't giving the ball. No, Mason Greenwood was going to pass the ball straight away. But see, as I've mentioned before, and I'm going to say it again, Cristiano Ronaldo can't really complain because I've mentioned this before. I guess I'm the only person that remember this. So when CR7 was younger, persons knew that he was full of himself, arrogant or whatever. I see it as confidence, but persons call it arrogant. And he was taking shots from questionable angles. But Ruud van Nistelrooy, who was the main striker at the time, was having problems with a young CR7 taking shots from questionable angles. And 20 years later, or 19 years later, the same is happening to CR7 because he's in a position. It's funny how deja vu works, man. So yes. So there was tension. That again, the the problem was that there was no correlation. There was no proper relation with the strikers or forwards. It's like, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's like you guys, it's like two enemies playing on the same side and they play in the same position, or they play in the forward line, and it's just like they don't want to give each other the ball to score. Is me. I mean, but in the Premier League though, we were scrapping some wins. Of course, CR7 was getting some goals, but one of the most disappointing performances in the first chapter of the season, because I would say that the first chapter of a season is from August to December. The second chapter, or you could call it the New Testament if you're very biblical, is from January to May if you're out of the Champions League. You know, in some cases, if the Champions League is held in June, it's from January to June the season if you're in the final anyway. So yeah, that is basically the two halves of the season. One half from August to December, other half from January to at least May if you're out of the Champions. No, if you're in the Champions League, it could be still from May, but in some cases it could be in June. Now, one of the most disappointing performances is when we played against Leicester City and we got trashed 4-2. That was where the cake started to fall a bit because the cake wasn't baked properly. That's where the foundation was or I should say this now. It was just emerging. It showed the weakness more. It exposed the weakness more, that you couldn't paper over the cracks because of CR7 goals for so long. It was just going to come out eventually. You can't hide it in the toy box for so long. It's going to come out of the toy box eventually. The problem was that after we lost against Leeds United 4-2, we had to play against Liverpool. Liverpool and City all of this season, and even in previous seasons, have been going head to head. Person we're talking about, Chelsea is going to challenge Liverpool. Chelsea is going to challenge Man City for the league because they won the Champions League last season, so they think they go in the Premier League. They started fine, but it wasn't continual though. It wasn't continual. They didn't have a consistent goal scorer. Havertz was missing. Lukaku was misfiring, as we all know that. And then Tuchel deployed Havertz as a false 9 or as a number 10 that was in the goal scoring position. More likely a false 9. This is me. For some reason, I guess for his height or something like that. But we had to play against Liverpool. We were losing in another game against Atalanta in the Champions League, and we came back 3-2 to win that game. So we had to play against Liverpool, I guess for bragging rights, because that was a rivalry game. We lost 5 on the day. At home, we lost 5 on the day. We made Salah look like Messi in 2011. And Henderson look like Xavi in 2011. This means, I think CR7 got a goal. CR7 got a goal. I think CR7 got a goal. It was 5-1, wasn't it? Or 5-0. It wasn't 5-love, was it? I can't remember, man. But this season was just, and one of the and we lost against, as you guys know, we lost against City 2-0, and we lost against Watford 4-1. And after the Watford versus Manchester United game, that was where Manchester United, the upper heads of Manchester United, the CEOs, the EOs, and the BOs were basically like, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, nothing personal against you, bro. You're a legend for Manchester United. You're only 20 legend, is me. But we have to let you go, bro. This is embarrassing by our standards. We have to go let you go. I'm going to sack you as manager for Manchester United. This is very embarrassing, very deplorable, despicable. It's just diabolical. It's just poor. It's just poor. You lost against Watford 4-1. Never mind the red card. I don't care about the red card. You had good players enough to beat Watford. Who knows if Watford's going to get relegation? They might. And you go allow this side to go beat you 4-1? You're going to allow this side to beat you 4-1. We have to cut ties with you, bro. We have to cut ties with you. Leave from the premises and properties of Manchester United. Pack your Norway in bags. Go back to Norway. Wait. I think you have a daughter that's playing for Manchester United under 18 or something. I'm not sure, but hey. As long as you're no longer the manager for Manchester United, I could care less. You can come and watch your games with your daughter, but not right here, so. But the thing is that I had to pause because I think my grandma is is in the house, so I guess she was checking on me. She's like, "Are you doing a video? Are you doing a video?" Yes, grandma, I'm doing a video. But I was saying that, yeah, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had to be let go. You had to be let go because this wasn't good. This was not good. Is in the Premier League, we're losing, and in the Champions League, because of the mentality of Cristiano Ronaldo in the last minutes of the game, was taking us out of holes that we place ourselves in. Is me? So this was one of the reasons why we had a poor season. This was one of the starts. Again, I've mentioned this before, but I must say it again and again and again. Hold on. Yeah, grandma is checking up on me again. But yeah, as I was saying, this season with Manchester United, it was just poor. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was let go. Michael Carrick was back into the fold. And skipping over details, man, it was a very, if I had to rate the first half of the season, I would say it was just a 4 out of 10. It was just a 4 out of 10. Ronaldo, if it wasn't for Ronaldo, bro, we wouldn't have gotten Champions League run of 16 qualifications. We would be probably in 13th place if it wasn't for CR7 goal in the first half of the season. Things were just poor. Michael Carrick, I mean, my man didn't do as bad, but he drew against Chelsea. He didn't do bad. But when Ralph Ragnick was called to just deal with this sinkable ship, because it was sinking, all right, we just needed to settle the boat. See, when Ralph Ragnick came in, players got unsettled, players got up in arms, players got heated, players got been out of shape, because Ralph Ragnick was exposing the weakness, the frailties, the faculties, the flaws and weaknesses in the squad. Some of those players were not feeling that because of the comfortability that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer gave them at his tenure. Ole was at Man United for 3 years. 3 years. And it was all about being nice, being, non-confrontational, being a friendly manager, giving a player a hug if he has a poor game. That's Manchester United, so we're going to be comfortable. But see, when Ralph Ragnick came in, this bridging from the 60s with his traditional old school self came into the squad and said, okay, you're not good enough. Some players are not good enough. I need them to adapt to my style of play. There's some players that need to do more work. They have to train more, put more effort in training. He was lighting their behinds up. and certain players wanted to leave. Certain players were not played much. Luke Shaw was benched. Luke Shaw was benched. Everybody knows that Luke Shaw is a favorite of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But he was no favorite under Ralph Rangnick because my man had a poor work ethic based on what news was saying. And other players. Ralph Rangnick was basically saying in a nutshell as I wrap up this video in 10 minutes that this squad is very filled with brats. Filled with entitled brats with the ego of Thanos' head. He was basically saying that in a nutshell. He wasn't saying that verbatim what I just said, but he was basically saying that they're players that believe that they're best players, they're spoiled kids because they're on fat wages. They believe that I don't have to be doing this. I don't have to work as hard because I got it made. I have a fat paycheck per week. And that's not the case. That's not the case. These are not the players that should be representing Manchester United. See, one of the reasons why a lot of players are losing their motivation to play very good is because they're getting a fat amount of money that they don't fully deserve as yet per week. If you give a player, that's like giving an employee a paycheck on his first day at work. He's not going to be working for the rest of the month. He has no motivation. He has no motivation. He may put in some effort, but it's not going to be his full effort. I don't even think it's going to be his best 25%. He's just going to say, well, I have my paycheck, so it's what the hell. That's the mentality of some of the players into the squad. It's me. And when Rashford came back, man, my man just looked like a loop with no hole in it, man. He was just poor, Rashford. We were just drawing. This season was just dire. So anyway, coming back to the end of the season, we lost. We dropped out of the Champions League by Atletico Madrid. We dropped out of the FA Cup. We got beaten by Middlesbrough on penalties. We lost hold on there. We lost against we lost against Man City. We lost against Everton. We lost against Arsenal. How are you going to lose against Arsenal, man? How are we going to lose against Arsenal? And Liverpool bag us 4-0. Liverpool beat us 9 on aggregate in the season, in the season of the Premier League. So as I'm finishing this season, we have lost today to Crystal Palace. What is the positives we can get, if we can get any positives at all? Player of the season, no doubt, is either David De Gea or Cristiano Ronaldo, and I would say it's David De Gea. David De Gea, dude. If it wasn't for David De Gea, we would have we have conceded a lot of goals in the Premier League. This side would have conceded plenty goals if it wasn't for David De Gea. Now, this is not the prime 2014 to 2018 David De Gea, but he's still a very good De Gea. It's still a very good De Gea, and it saved us from getting our skins cleaned off by unnecessary goals. There were a lot of goals. Our defense was very poor. Harry Maguire, one of the biggest talking points this season, this season, was that Harry Maguire should not be captain for Manchester United, or he should be nowhere near Manchester United. That was one of the talking points. Another talking point was that Dean Koons, I call him Dean Koons, but it's Dean Henderson. Dean Henderson wanted to leave because he wanted game time. Because he believed that, according to papers, he believes that he's better than David De Gea. Just because you're commanding, aggressive with the chest out like you're a greyback ape in the jungle, doesn't mean that you're better than David De Gea. If David De Gea was English, maybe he would have been more abrasive, but the reality is that he's more effective than you. And that's why you were not starting ahead of him. Now, he got some starts last season because David De Gea was just in a poor state of form. But this season, my man had the ability to perform on the stages, whether it's low, medium, or high. Although we lost games, we have to still give thanks for David De Gea. The players that made an improvement on himself this season was Fred. Fred made an improvement, this particularly under the reign of Ralph Rangnick. When Fred, we saw a different Fred under Ralph Rangnick. I think this was the perfect role for Fred to play. This is me. He played as a box to box, not as a defensive midfielder, as in a double pivot. He played as a box to box. He was pinging passes. He did a few skills that I didn't even know was in his locker, because persons were questioning the nationality of Fred, whether he's from Congo or from Brazil. And I thought the dude was from Congo because based on how Fred has been playing before that, he hasn't shown the Brazil sauciness. Even Anderson, as poor as he was, there were times my man showed Brazil finesse, even when he was poor most of his season at Manchester United. So Fred, under Ralph Rangnick, looked like a different Fred. He scored in Ralph Rangnick's first game. That 1-0 victory, and he did that dance with Alex Telles at the sideline. Man, that was dope. So yeah, man, Fred was very efficient. Now Bruno Fernandes regressed. Bruno Fernandes was just poor. Yes, he has a good. I think he finished as one of the top assisters in Champions League. Dude, stats don't mean that much, especially if you're not in the remaining stage of the Champions League. I mean, what the hell? Why are you going to collect that consolation prize for, and it's not worth anything? You know, it's worth for stats. Yes, and even the qualities of those assists. Yeah, he got a quality assist. To find CR7. That was quality, I guess. But again, bro, Bruno really regressed in comparison to last season. Rashford regressed. Danny Van de Beek, this brethren had needed a loan. He needed to rejuvenate and revive his career. Seeing that Eric Ten Hag is back at Manchester United after 3 more minutes, I'm pretty sure Eric Ten Hag is going to be starting Danny Van de Beek. He's going to be starting Danny Van de Beek. I'm pretty sure he's going to be starting Danny Van de Beek in the midfield next season. Yeah, so I guess that's a positive to look forward to in the next season. I'm sure of that. Who else regressed? Harry Maguire. Well, he's been regressing. You know, that's yeah, man. My man's been regressing, man. So that's not nothing new. But just go. Luke Shaw regressed. Yeah, Rashford regressed. Lingard didn't play much. Players that improved. Elanga made an improvement. Yeah, he had a decent season. Elanga, shout out to Elanga. Matic deserves a shout out, seeing that he's played his final game for Manchester United. He will be no longer a Manchester United player, Matic. We thank you for his services. Mata will no longer be a Manchester United player, at least based on speculations. So we thank you for his services. Jesse Lingard may not be at Manchester United next season, but I'll keep you guys posted on that because there will be transfer news and, you know, where Jesse Lingard's head is at. Cavani regressed. Cavani needs to let go because my man is taking the mickey out of Manchester United now. Who else? Ronaldo. If it wasn't for Ronaldo and them goals, man. Oh, stop right there, sir. Mason Greenwood. Thought I was going to do a video without Mason Greenwood, huh? Mason Greenwood have about 55 seconds. I'm going to go over. But Mason Greenwood didn't have the best of seasons compared to definitely his debut season or his second season, because some person believe he had a second season syndrome. But he did decent still. Mason Greenwood. He should have been less selfish and more selfless. I guess that's a word. I'm no English, so what do I know? But yeah, he did decent, Mason Greenwood. It's unfortunate that he had to be excused by the Manchester United squad based on his allegations against his girlfriend. But he gets a shout out. Yeah, Ronaldo, we thank Ronaldo for them goals, man. If it wasn't for those goals, man, I mean, getting 18 league goals at the age of 37 in this poor squad is quite an achievement. No man is seeing why Mourinho said 4 years ago why this is his best achievement by getting second place with the squad he had at the time. The squad at the time was poorer than this squad. Yeah. It was poor. We had Sanchez, but Sanchez was poor. We had Lukaku. Lukaku was goal scorer in his first season, but it was still poor across the board. Pogba this season, Pogba is looking to be leaving. Pogba got 4 assists in his first game. And my man has been, and he hasn't played much this season, Pogba. But Pogba, although he didn't play much, Pogba is still one of the top assisters in the league. Yeah, so it goes to show that the qualities were at our disposal and they were not used to its full effectiveness. I need to finish this video podcast. Something on my screen. Now, in wrapping up, let us go into it's early days to be seen that we're out of this disastrous season. We're out of this disastrous season. There are a lot of players that need to leave. There are a lot of players that need to question themselves. These squads need a clear out. Phil Jones needs to go. Wan-Bissaka needs to go. I haven't mentioned Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka was poor this season. Wan-Bissaka has been poor this season. Yeah, Wan-Bissaka has been poor this season. Dalot, when he came back into the starting lineup, I'm proud for Dalot, man. Dalot is going to improve. Diogo Dalot is going to definitely improve. Tears he has been average. He's been average. I can't lie on that. That's the season in a nutshell. Leave your comments down below in your comment section, and what's your assessment and your evaluation of Manchester United season this season? Well, the season that just finished for Manchester United. Leave your comments down below. Just write one word. You don't have to write nothing lengthy. Just write one word. Hey, if you want to write off an essay in the comment section, I'll be happy enough to read it and respond. Leave your comments down below. It was just a poor season. But let us also thank the fans that went to them games, although we were not in the best position. Let's thank the fans as well. Yeah, thank you for coming out. Now, like and subscribe to the channel. I'm done. I'll show it to you guys in the next video podcast. Peace.